What's up, everybody? Just wanted to do a little video to say hey. Hope everybody's doing okay during this quarantine life, and to show some garden projects that the family and I have been doing. My parents dropped off some potatoes and onions and cabbage plants earlier this week, so I got my daughter and our dog out there to help me dig some potato trenches. We dug them about 8 inches deep, 6 to 8 inches wide, and then I planted the potatoes about 6 to 8 inches apart. I've got probably 20-25 potatoes planted. This side of the house gets plenty of sun, so hopefully they do well. I put the cabbage plants in the back over there. Like I said, hopefully this side of the house will produce well. There's plenty of good worms in that dirt as I was digging it up. But as we were doing all that, and as I was watering it that afternoon, I noticed the dog loved running back and forth throughout everything, so I needed a fence or a gate to put up. I had some old section of fence that we pulled down when we first moved in that I'd kept behind my shed, and so I started pulling it apart, pulling the 2x4 runner boards off of it, pulling all the slats off, and it was all riddled with nails, old nails full of it. So I started pulling those out, hammering them out. I was left with a couple good sections of 2x4. Not the best shape, but decent enough for what I needed. So I cleaned them up and started cutting them apart to make the frame for the new gate. I also pulled apart the posts of that section of fence. They're about 6 to 8 feet long, but pretty gnarly at the end, so I cut them down into 4-foot sections. Still not beautiful, but definitely decent enough. All the fencing board was in pretty good shape, so I cut it down into the sections I needed. And I had some old cabinets that I was getting rid of that I pulled the hinges off of, so I buried the posts about a foot into the ground, and framed out the gate, hung it up. It's not the most beautiful thing in the world, but it's definitely functional. Keeps the dog out, like I said, but allows me to move it back and forth pretty easily enough. We had some excess paint from painting our daughter's room last year, and my wife had the idea of maybe sprucing up this new gate, getting out with our daughter and having a little project that those two could work on, so they did that today. It was a fun time. We all enjoyed hanging out in the sun and sprucing up our new gate in the good pastel Easter colors, but my leveling and all that wasn't perfect on this new gate, but as I said, it's all functional. Keeps the dog out, allows me to get in there when I need to. I also had these garden bed boxes that I used last year as raised garden beds, and I decided to go a little bit different direction with them. I pulled all the dirt out. I decided to start hugelkultur. So I put in dried leaves and twigs and bark, put all the dirt back on top, bought new soil, and used some excess dirt from the potato patch and mixed it all in together, and I planted some lettuce, carrot seeds, and some onions in these boxes. But as I was watering it, the dog wanted to hop up in them and get to the water hose, so I decided I needed to build a fence for it too. So I used, as the running boards, some extra fence boards that we had from last year, and for the slats it was some old free pallets that I'd gotten off of my brother's neighbor. And I wanted to have access to the fronts so that I could get in there and weed or water or plant some peppers or something here in a little bit. So I did that, made it to where I can move those around. Again, it's not the most beautiful thing in the world. It's not completely professional done, but it's functional. It serves its purpose. And I made this video to because I'm bored, stuck inside the house and stuck in the yard, but also to show that if you got some projects you want to get done around the yard, you don't have to run to Lowe's and drop a bunch of money. I mean, you can use what you have around, and if you have a place to store any extra wood, any wood that you don't need, that you pull apart, that you have from an old project, keep it. You never know when you might need it to do a little project around the yard like this. Like I said, everything was pretty much completely free or reused, so it worked out well. and I just hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's making it through all the craziness. Hope we can keep our anxiety down. I think that we can trust in God to get us through this, but I hope everyone's finding any silver lining that they can and enjoying their time with their family. God bless.